One of the best seasons of our life, the river life. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Well, we're a duo today. I've got my better half with me. Since today's topic involved the both of us, we thought we would do this video together. There was a time and a season in our lives where we lived the river life, or as they say, the Rivah life. And we absolutely loved it, didn't we?
Oh my gosh.
I think it was one of the best parts of our life.
It was.
It truly was. And we both loved it for different reasons. What we did, this goes back to 2011. And we lived in Virginia. And in a small town in Virginia called Urbana, they have a campground called Bethpage Camp Resort. And it was on was it the Rappahannock or Tappahannock?
Rappahannock.
It was on the Rappahannock River. And you could go there to camp for a weekend or a week. They had campsites and people could pull in with campers or RVs. They also had a seasonal section, and that's for people who actually lived there. Now, you could live there from, March till November, till about mid-November.
Right.
And then the park was closed. Well, we went there, and we fell in love. I'll have to tell you that story someday, how that all came about. But we bought one of the park models. Now, it was an old model. It was a 1999. And this was in 2011, and it was very small, but it was right on the river. I mean, right on the river. We would walk out our door, and there's the river. You went down 10 steps, and you were in the water. Oh, it was just incredible because we were on the point, and there were only a few park models on the point, and we had the best sight.
And the person we had bought the camper from had totally redone it on the inside.
Yes, he did. He had remodeled it because, like I said, it was an old park model.
You never know it.
And it had like a screened-in porch attached to it. And that was great, too. Now, this was very small. The actual trailer itself was maybe 325 square feet. And then the attached screened-in porch that faced the river was about 165 square feet. So imagine, that's less than 500 square feet. And we loved being there. We had a home in Richmond where we lived that was 3,000 square feet. We were happier in that little 400 and something square foot place.
We were.
We loved it. And of course, we both worked through the week, so we could only go down on weekends at first.
Right.
And then, because we could work from home, we started going for weeks at a time and spent as much of the summer there and the fall and the spring as we could. And we ended up getting a pontoon boat. And that's a story we'll have to share another time. But bottom line is, it was pretty much given to us.
Yeah, it was.
And the views, oh my gosh. The sunrises and sunsets were absolutely gorgeous. And of course, Dave loves to fish. So he spent a lot of time on the boat going out fishing.
But also, a lot of times, I would just get up in the morning and just walk down the steps and get in the water and get in like waist deep and just fish right there.
Right. And I would walk down the steps and had a big float. And I would just lay on that float in the river and just float around. It was wonderful. We got a kayak.
Yeah.
And Dave did a lot of kayaking. I got sick. I can't do kayaks. The motion just bothered me. Remember?
Yeah, but you were okay on the boat. You never
I was
sick
okay
on
on the boat. But of course, Dave would go out into the river. I mean, he would go a long distance. Where when I was on it, I just I just wanted him to drive up and down right in front of our camper, because I was just laying there soaking up the sun and playing my music real loud. I didn't really want to go out. Well, Dave loves to fish, and he did a lot of fishing. And at the time, our dog, which was a black lab, Simon, he died about 3 years ago.
On Father's Day.
Yes. But he loved fish. We didn't know that, but he loved it. So he went on the boat with Dave all the time fishing. So, Dave, why don't you tell what you loved about the river life and what you enjoyed doing?
Everything.
I know.
There wasn't a single thing that I did not enjoy. It was such an amazing place because, like Sheila said, the views were breathtaking. And I couldn't feel any closer to God than getting out there early in the morning, sitting in our chairs with a coffee, spending time in prayer, looking at God's beauty, nature. And every single sunrise, of course, is different.
Yes.
And it was a place we went to decompress from work and just enjoy ourselves so immensely. And I loved everything. We had a golf cart, of course, because people rode around in golf carts.
Yeah.
So we would go all around the campground in their golf cart. They had bands that would come in on the weekend. So Sheila would love that.
I'd be up there dancing.
Oh, yeah.
That was what I enjoyed.
She loved dancing. But fishing for me was always something that I enjoyed doing. And yeah, I go out in the morning and take her dog, and we would go fishing. And he could stay out there all day with me, and he'd be happy as can be. But he loved to fish. Every time I'd bait the hook, he would go nuts.
Yeah.
He would start barking and whimpering and crying. And he would just stare at the water, and if the line just quivered just a little bit, he'd he'd get so excited. And then, so I'd pull a fish in, and he just wanted the fish, but not to hurt it. That was the weird part too. He would just take the fish, I'd hand it to him, he'd put it in his mouth, and he'd play with it for a couple of seconds, then he'd spit it out, and he'd be like, "Okay, I'm done. You can put him back.
Catch another one.
Catch me another one."
It was the thrill of the catch.
I guess.
It really was.
And, and I love to fish even off, like I said, Sheila said, off the bank on the front of her trailer. I would walk down the steps and go about waist deep in the water. Well, wouldn't you know it, I go out there and here comes Simon. I mean, he would just be dog paddling, coming right out with me. And if the water was deep, he would try to stand on his hind legs and doggy paddle to balance himself while he was waiting for me to catch fish.
It was just comical. And he went kayaking with Dave all the time.
He loved to kayak.
It was a two-seater. So there's Dave in the front and Simon.
No, I was in the back.
Oh, you were in the back?
I was in the back, and Simon would always sit in the front.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And they would go kayaking for hours.
Oh, yeah. Go in little creeks and little areas, and he didn't care. He was happy as can be. He would just sit there. A lot of times he'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because when you think about living in less than 500 square feet, you think, who would ever want to do that? I'm telling you, we were so happy there.
Oh.
So happy to be there. We totally enjoyed it. It didn't feel small. It didn't feel like less than 500 square feet.
Well, I think because we were usually not in the trailer.
Yeah, but even when we were in it. And it
True.
just had one bedroom, one bath,
Yeah.
a little living room, and a small walk-in kitchen.
Yeah.
That was it. And then the porch that they added on, we put a bed out there, and that's where we slept.
Yeah.
Because you could sleep with all the sliders open, and it was just screened in, and we were right on the river.
Oh, there's nothing like going to bed at night and hearing the water come against the rocks and,
yes.
The
and
waves.
Feeling the breeze off the water.
Yeah.
So we never slept in the bedroom. When our kids would come down and grandkids, we gave them the bedroom, but we never slept in it. We wanted to be outside.
Absolutely.
And we had a nice patio and a grill, and Dave would cook out all the time. He would cook breakfast
Yep.
in the mornings on the grill and dinners, and it was just such a wonderful, relaxing, and peaceful life. So it just goes to show you, you don't need much
Oh, I've been happy.
to just live there.
Yeah. I said that so many times. I was like, I'd sell everything. I would just sell it and let's just move there if it was open year round. But it wasn't open year round.
Yeah.
So then you're like, well, we got to live somewhere.
And so then when we moved here in 2014, 2014, we kept it because we had every intention of making several trips back to Virginia and spend weeks at a time there, or maybe even the entire summer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's when Dave got diagnosed and
Yeah.
with the cancer and had to have the surgeries, and he couldn't
Radiation.
travel. We couldn't do any of that stuff, but we kept
Right.
it anyhow so that our grandkids could enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the oldest grandkids were, at seniors and high school and that, they developed other interests, so they didn't go as often. So we eventually sold it in 2017. And our middle son, Sean, the day we bought it, the next day he came down to see it, him and his wife and kids. They loved it so much. And the one right next door was for sale. He bought it. So they were just steps away from us. So we got to spend every weekend with them as well. And then, like I said, our other grandkids came. It was marvelous. It was just the best experience.
Oh, the memories, the memories. I can just, even now, the memories are so there.
And what I learned was, again, how you can do without anything but nature, fresh air, and water. That's it. If we had to sell this house, I would find another park model camper on some water, and I would be content to live there for the rest of my life. It was the most simple, uncomplicated time of life that you could ever imagine. And of course, we love a simple life. And I just can't say enough about it.
I know, and I think at times I'm like, why did we sell?
Well, but we couldn't get there. We couldn't use it because we could not travel anymore to Virginia. So it just, we hung on to it for a few years, but with additional surgeries and things that kept happening, we knew we weren't going to get back.
And then your mom.
Oh, yes. And then we brought my ma down.
Yeah.
And so life changes. You know, there's a season for everything in life. And although it's sad to see a season end, it was wonderful to have that season. I will never forget it. I carry it with me right here in my heart.
Always.
And always will. And who knows, maybe someday in the future, we'll have another little trailer on some water.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? But it was perfect because it was only an hour and a half away from our house, which is great. Not too far. So that was nice too.
It was wonderful.
But you're right. I do remember that, how we first started out, it was just the weekends. And then we go down for long weekends, like Friday through Monday. And then, that would turn into weeks that we would be down there.
So we just wanted to share that experience with you all. It had such a big impact on our lives. Spiritually and in so many ways.
Absolutely.
And I hope you enjoyed seeing the pictures. We have thousands of
literally
pictures.
thousands.
I mean, thousands. So we'll put some in here. I don't know. I'll try not to put too many in.
Yeah.
I could be a redhead in those pictures because I was a redhead.
Because you were a redhead.
Yeah. But anyhow, I thank you for listening to our story and about our Rivah life. And now we're going to leave you with an inside beauty tip. Well, now it's time to leave you with an inside beauty tip. And how about we do it together?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I want to talk about Ecclesiastes 3:1. For everything there is a season, a time and purpose under heaven. So since we were talking about a season of our life, why don't you say something about it? I'll say something about it, and that'll be it.
Well, just that our lives are basically, they're seasons. And the scripture tells us that. And it's very true. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because I don't know where we were, and you just look at me and say, it is so true. What's so true?
You were talking about
Well,
the seasons of life. And you said, why don't you tell us, Dave, how you feel about the seasons of life? Yeah.
well, besides them being true,
You didn't let me
let's hear how
You let me
you feel
finish.
about it or what that season meant to you.
didn't let me finish. Oh. You could have stopped laughing. Now you're messing me up. Come on now.
Okay.
That season of her life was amazing.
Yeah.
But looking back, every season of life is amazing because we went through it and we lived it together and
Yes.
we shared it. And what a beautiful thing when you look back at your life. Now we're in another season.
Yes.
And boy, that was a change up as well.
Yeah.
Moving here and, everything. That's another great season. And I look forward to the seasons, just like we look forward to the seasons of winter, spring, summer, and fall. Mm-hmm. They're part of seasons of life. And I love how God always shared it that way with us. Parables, things that were very simple to understand. And he gave us great examples. And that's one of them about the seasons of life. And for me, I don't want to cry because the memories are just, wow.
They know you're the crier,
Well,
not me,
I
so
know.
you can cry.
I'm telling you, the memories are just so powerful.
Yes, they are.
And having the kids there and the grandchildren and sharing that time together. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Teaching them how to fish.
Oh, everything. Every memory.
Yeah.
And they used to laugh at Sheila so much about she loved watching Little House on the Prairie. And she had it on a laptop on CDs. And so here we are on the front porch sleeping at night. And she'd fall asleep and it would it'd play through. And then it would repeat itself.
Over and over again.
And now the kids, as a joke, a lot of times they'll just walk in and look at Sheila and go, dun, 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 dun.
You could hear it all over the point.
Oh, I know.
Because I go to bed early. So everybody's just getting ready to have fun and have the nightlife and go to the dances and the pools and all the activities. And here I am, 6 o'clock. I'm going to bed with my laptop watching Little House on the Prairie over and over again.
Oh.
But yeah, wonderful memories. And all I can say about seasons are sometimes we go through difficult seasons that may not hold good, uplifting memories. But that's okay too. Celebrate the seasons of your life. They're going to be good ones. They're going to be great ones.
Absolutely.
And there are going to be difficult ones.
Amen.
And that's okay. It's all your story. It's the book of your life.
That's a beautiful way of saying it.
It is. It's actually the book of your life.
I love that.
And you are writing it through each season you go through.
Wow.
And that's the way I look at it. So I say celebrate all the seasons.
Absolutely.
And don't ever end that book until your life is ended.
True.
Yeah.
And you share that. I think about the season of life, with all this cancer stuff happened in me and everything. And, people would say, oh, forget that one, close the chapter on that one. But man, I'll tell you what I have learned going through that, how I have grown and matured as a person, as a father, as a grandfather, as a husband. Wow.
And as a Christian.
Yeah.
As a man of God.
Oh,
tremendously.
It's amazing.
So every season is good.
Yeah.
Every season brings something to your life. I hope you all have had some wonderful seasons in your life.
And we'd love to hear about them.
Yes. So if you have any that you would like to share, please leave it in the comments section.
Absolutely.
Well, I thank you, Dave, for doing this with me.
You're
it was
welcome.
wonderful taking that trip down memory lane.
Oh, wow.
I know. So I'll wrap this up and I'll say, until we meet again, this is the old girl
And the old guy.
signing out.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.